Hi.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm currently, can I turn this around? Literally in a dome inside. I'm inside of a dome. I've got my literal crew and me in this little dome in the desert.
I want to talk all about what this show is and what you're doing.
Oh my God. Can you just feel? You can't. I'm crazy. Can you feel the air right now? It's
I'm
so.
in a claustrophobic studio with no
Well,
windows.
they just
So
said you can be, if you're vaccinated, you can be outside and not wear a mask. And I just feel like, can you believe what we went through? Do you know what I mean? Like some days I'm just like, some days I'm like a fallen feather. Like I'm just like, how did we made it through the craziest year. We made it through the craziest year, you know?
we did. I think we talked like literally this time last year. I
Yeah,
was
well,
trying to
this
find the
time
date.
last year was slow down with small pools.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
literally a year later, I'm jumping out of an airplane, skydiving, and losing myself in mood swinger, the vibe.
I feel us doing this now where we're kind of catching up 1 year later with some of the artists that we were talking to at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah,
Because we did so many of these at the beginning as like, okay, this is gonna be a very temporary thing. We're
right.
just gonna, check in with these artists this way and we'll be back to it pretty soon, right?
Hi, baby.
Hi.
It's like I played all these live streams and things from my living room for a year. Like, a year ago, I was like dropped by my label the same day that Billie Eilish like tweeted about me. It was this whole like thunderstorm of like, moments or whatever. And I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make the music I want to make. I'm gonna release it in the way that makes sense to me. It's very rock and roll in that way. It's just like, this is my music. This is how I'm gonna do it, and this is what I'm trying to say. And it turned into like, for me, one of the best years to be able to connect with people, which sounds crazy because this year was really hard and had all these confusing moments, but for me the music was like the only thing that kept me going. And I have a very strong, to your question of like, why am I here and why this dome in the desert, I have a very strong pull and connection to Joshua Tree. It was like right after my dad passed away, this was like where I came, and I actually made an EP that one day I may release. I have no idea. But when I finished that EP in the desert, I came back to LA and I wrote Carry the Weight, which was on my first album. And so none of that EP made the album, but it kind of birthed the energy that created Carry the Weight. So it's just like a special place to me. And when I saw this again, doing this again, when I saw that little vortex, I just was like, I don't want to play music in my living room. I can't go on a tour right now. Uh, this is the most magical place I can think of to play music from.
I know because I follow you, I follow everything you do. And you do talk a lot about being independent and being able to do a lot of this stuff. So what is it like to just make the decision to do something like this where people aren't like telling you what to do?
There are so many moments that I felt like I was fighting. I love the music that I make, but I was fighting in order to like even get a chance to release the music. And so by the time the music came out, I was like, I'm already like, I don't have much fight like left to to share the music and speak about it, because it was like even getting the song to come out was like a battle. So everything I release I'm very proud of, but it was such a battle to get to. And it means so much to me that people are connecting with this music in this specific moment where we have been so isolated and so scared. And like, that's a lot of my music is just me moving through that. And it like, I don't even have words for it. It's just like, it is the most incredible, humbling thing to be able to skip the label thing and just release music and get to share it with people in the way that I know how.
And be like, I'm gonna pack up my stuff and go to Joshua Tree's show, you know? Like,
Yeah. It's almost like coming out here and playing music in the desert is a reminder. Look at my dog. It's a
I was
reminder.
just gonna say, look,
It's a reminder of everything that is important to me in this whole journey. It's that like music is what connects us. Music is what unites us. Music is what fuels us. And yeah, like I don't have a label. I have no idea if, to be honest, I have no idea if my music will ever be on a radio or not. But I want it to be. I will keep moving in the direction of sharing my heart in every way. And that doesn't change. Like that doesn't change. That doesn't change with or without a label. So, you know,
right.
I feel like this year caused me to go. Yeah, we talked like right at the start of it, and it was like, I don't know, we're using the internet, and maybe this will be a couple months, and wow, look at that.
Yeah.
It was longer.
Were we
But
wrong?
we were wrong, but it's too hard to look at this last year and not say like it changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And also it made the moments that we're about to start to have, like the live shows, the in-person hangs, the literal love that I feel that's like about to explode. I want to feel brand new again. Like the literal, like I just feel this, I feel like a rocket ship. I literally feel like we're about to like, gates are going to open and shows are going to come back, and everything that we may have like missed we're going to have, but hopefully everything we learned in the process of having to like, again, not to quote myself, but having to reframe all these past mistakes and stuff like that, everything that we went through, I hope we keep with us as we move into this new like dimension that's happening.
I don't think we can take anything for granted ever again. I got vaccinated past the 2 weeks,
Me too.
and yay, it's so exciting. And I
Actually,
made dinner plans with my friends last weekend, and when they agreed, like it was literally just to go out to a restaurant and eat. When they agreed, I started crying.
okay,
I
can I
was
tell you
like,
something?
I can't believe I'm about to do that.
I went to see a movie. They like, you have masks on and they take your temperature, but I saw a movie in 3D. And it was as if I was a baby discovering senses. I was just like, it was crazy.
It is so weird to think about. I mean,
What's
at
something
this,
really simple that you're looking forward to?
honestly, I'm going home for the first time in a year.
Love that.
It's not simple. It's very monumental, but
Yeah, but it's
also
actually
something
like,
that I would just do. Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna, because I live, like 8 hours away. It's not close, but it's a drive.
yeah.
But I haven't done that. I haven't been doing that. And there's so many times where we're like, we should just do it. Like, let's just do it. We'll be fine. We'll be careful. But then you have to be like, this isn't how that works. And so, like, let's just get over it, get past it, and get to the other side, which I think we've done. And it's really weird to talk to you now after not knowing what was going to happen when we talked last May.
I know, but like that's where like Meridian came out of this year. Like I thought the project would be called Wonder, but Wonder became its own wonderful beast, and Meridian is all about how things flow and change, and like honestly how things break and how things come together. And it was like that was this year, like we went through something so crazy. I don't even have words for it sometimes, because it's like I feel like we're just going to be processing it for so long. If good things happen for a reason, then bad things happen for a reason. And that's not to say that like we didn't go through so many losses and people I know getting sick, but like as we come out of this, I feel like we're moving into a totally new space like, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like vibrationally people are hungry for like truth and connection and excitement, you know. It makes me also really excited not to have a label telling me that what I'm like doing is not good enough or something, because literally that makes no sense. It's not rock and roll. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Seriously, congrats on Meridian.
Thank you.
I love it. You sent it to me early, which thank you for that.
Yeah.
I was very excited to get it. I listened to it. It is such a kind of roller coaster, you know. It's so many different emotions on that. I told you my favorite song from the get-go was Mood Swing, and you responded and said, "I knew you'd dig it."
I wasn't
Is
I wasn't
there?
sure if you were gonna be I feel like there's gonna be a mood swing camp and a losing myself camp. I've given up trying to figure out what people like. I can't go into this figuring out like people are gonna like or not like XYZ, but for you specifically, because of, I just know you have like you've consumed lots of music, even though you're working like in alternative music in this moment. I know you've like had a journey, and so I kind of just thought that Mood Swing was the most like dramatic and crazy, and that's kind of why I thought that you would connect with that.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. No, but I do. I love the entire thing. I think it's your best stuff that you've
Thank
done.
you.
And so it's Meridian Volume 1. So what else is on the Is it going to be like a series, or are
It's
you going to?
Meridian Volume 1 and Meridian Volume 2.
Okay.
Both are done. Um, I released half of it because it is just how I felt like I wanted to split up the album. It was like, you know, the first half feels like it was like what this year was, where we're like everything has to break through kind of vibe. So the first half feels like it was like the process of breaking, and then the second half, not only does it feel like it's the process of putting it together, in fact, there's a lyric in the second half that says you are not in survival mode anymore. And to be honest, I feel like up until maybe this week, maybe next week, we've been in survival mode. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
so like, so part two is an exploration, and also part two, I have some crazy collaborations about to happen that I literally can't say. And not because anyone's telling me I can't, but because literally I'm just not saying it.
Yeah, no, you need to surprise us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to speculate wildly, though. Not
Yeah.
out loud, but in my head, I will.
And so, yeah, like it felt real to be like, part one is the process of breaking, and part two is the process of putting it back together. But I also feel um, like that's happening in real time. So it will reveal itself.
Well, thank you for, documenting all of this for us. It's funny because there's a lot of, really, the past year we're all here because we're music fans, right? And the past year has kind of just been defined by our music, whether it's whatever we were listening to at the time, like even if it's like super old stuff, are we going to remember, oh, I remember listening to this during that, monumental year. And then there's people like you that are putting out kind of like a commentary on what we're going through. And even though it was such a hard time, like it's going to be important to have that, to remember.
Thanks for saying that. I mean, I think that what is, at the end of the day, what's most beautiful about music is if it can reflect the truths that we feel or that we see. Like, my truth is never going to be the same as everyone else's truth, but my truth is very well documented by the music that I'm in this moment choosing to release, because it feels like, these songs, I kept saying, like, they were like, if you're like a sailor in a stormy sea, like each of these songs were like a lighthouse that was sort of like guiding me towards like the next coast, you know? Like these were the how I was just sort of like navigating my way through 2020. And now it's yours, and now it's like now it's somebody else's, and maybe they'll take it, and maybe it will help them move. I need to close this dome because the wind is coming. Oh my god.
There was a hammock behind you. I thought was gonna
The wind is
the
crazy.
abyss.
The wind is
Yeah.
crazy, and the dome shape is like so. I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's just like it's literally just me in here in this. It's just this vortex. Um, I'm very excited about playing this music, especially in this space, and especially to signify, like, you know, like I said, a year ago was slow down, and then last week, jumping out of an airplane to signify like we are jumping into like a new frontier, you know, and this feels like, oh my god, can you hear the wind? I know I sound crazy.
No, it's fine. So, okay, what was that the first time you ever jumped out of a plane? Was that your first, or have you done that before?
That was my first. I was just thinking about it. That was my first time. Maybe my only time.
And your only time?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't decided. Yeah. I didn't think too hard about it, which is maybe an Easter egg for Volume 2, but I'll get to that on Volume 2. But I didn't think too hard about it, and when I was like falling through the sky, I was like, huh. There's so many things that you can do to feel brand new again that don't have to have you like free falling from a plane from 13,000 feet.
I was gonna say that's quite the level to go to for like a metaphor, you know. Now you say you did it.
For a year where everything sort of broke and changed and paused, and we had to be at home, and it was scary. You know, I want to straddle the line between talking about what happened and also like moving forward. But like, we have to acknowledge that this last year was hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
A lot shifted, and a lot. I'm not even talking about metaphysically. I'm talking about a lot was hard because we had to slow down. We had to pause and look at ourselves and be with ourselves. You couldn't run away. You know, part of touring is running away, to be honest. You know, like part of like going city to city, the thrill of it is that you lose yourself in every city you're in, you know? But it's also draining and hard and scary. And then everything is canceled and grounded, and you're at home for a year, and you're with your thoughts and you're with yourself, and you're like, huh, do I like myself? Do I love myself? Do I have I ever spent this much time with myself? And that was something that I was like, I don't know that I've spent this much time with myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really reflective year. But now I'm going to jump out of planes. I'm going to play my song in a dome in the desert, you know? I've just figured out that I can take this setup. I don't even need a power cable. As long as I have cell service, I could actually just play and sing at a piano anywhere in the world.
Love it.
And I hope to do it.
I hope you do too. I'll watch. If we can go along with you in your screen, then we'll watch. We'll be there with you.
Yeah. And I know I'll get to Colorado.
Well, we have some scenery.
I mean, yeah, you have some great scenery, and you have some great people.
So, okay, so you're going to do the show at Joshua Tree. So, for anybody that doesn't have a ticket into it yet, what do they need to know? How can they watch
They
you?
can go to the link in my bio. It's Sessions Live is where I'm doing the show through.
Okay.
I think we're almost sold out of VIP, so there's like meet and greet that you can get and special merch that I made for the show. Otherwise, you can just come get a normal ticket and it'll be you, me, this piano, this dome, and if we're lucky, my dog will sing.
I hope so. So somebody commented, if we talk about Meridian Volume 2, somebody commented, I heard Losing Myself in 2019. Just wondering, have we heard anything from Volume 2 before? Or is it all brand new?
You've never heard Volume 2.
Okay.
You've never heard Volume 2. How Do You Hold What Hurts and Losing Myself, I played not every night, but I played it on my, the only first headline tour that I went out on at the end of 2019. That was how I ended 2019. I had a show at the Troubadour. It was a legendary special night. The doorman told me that he was like, you're magical. And I'll say that about people. And you know who's played here. And I was like, that makes me feel very good. Because when somebody at a venue notices you and says something, when they see like so many people all the time, you're like, that's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I always look at like security guards and I'm like, I wonder if this person's a fan. They can't act like they are or anything. They have to do their job. Like people at the barricade, right?
Totally. They have to do their job and be there. So when he came out of his way to be like, I'm into what you do, and like, he was like, you know, some legendary people have played here, and you are one of them.
Is there anything else you want to throw out there while I have you? We have a show to get ready for, but
I found that the best way to move through this time is to just move through it, and connecting with you on the internet through this time, and like being here on the internet has really helped me get through it, you know, and that's what I made this music out of. And I'm just excited for people to like hear it now. And there are things that I can't say, like when I'll see people in person and stuff. But as soon as I can, I'm going to let you know directly, and I will definitely let everyone know here.
I love talking with you, so thank you for jumping on while you're getting ready for this.
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait to talk in person. And
great to see you.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy the show, and I hope everybody that's watching is there as well. I'm excited for it.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Bye. Bye.